Hello everybody and welcome to Benjamin Magnus Plays Sunless Sea. Now if you do not know what this game is yet, you could pick it up on Steam for I believe $19 or your regional equivalent. It is an early access game and I will put a link to the official page and the Steam page in the description below. But it's a little hard to classify. It's a little bit open world survival, it's a little bit roguelike, it's a little bit RPG light. All set in this beautiful, subterranean, lovecraftian, Victorian world, where you are a boat captain, basically, who is out trying to, seek his fortune. And right off the bat here, we're going to create our character by choosing what my past was, and there are a couple different in here right now. Each one gives you a bonus to a different skill set up here. Now, it could be a street urchin, which will give us a bonus to veils, which is basically stealth. A poet, bonus to page or trickery knowledge, kind of like intelligence. A veteran of the campaign of 68, where we fought off the invasion of hell, and by fought off, I mean London's armies lost, of course. Where we get a bonus to iron, that's basically like strength, it'll just increase the damage we do. We can be an ordained priest that has fallen from grace, bonus to hearts, healing, and morale, or a natural philosopher, and this natural philosopher is actually the one I'm going to take. Your peculiar theories on time, blood, and starlight brought you down to the Neath, the cavern where London lies, and now you take now you take out to the Z. Now, the Neath is the subterranean cave where London is. That's why it's called Fallen London. It's kind of fallen off the surface of the earth and is in this subterranean, perpetually dark, like endless ocean underground. So we're going to pick this one right here. We are a natural philosopher. We gain 25 Tamirs, and we have a plausible surgeon as our first officer, 1 to pages and 1 to hearts. We have 20 echoes, which is this game's version of currency. And now we need to pick an ambition. This is basically what we want to accomplish in our game. Now, these ones down here are locked because I do not believe they have been implemented in the game yet because it is still early access. So what I'm going to do is get this fulfillment up here. Gather 100 tales, learn all you can about the Z, write a masterpiece, and retire. We're going to pick that one right there. Now we have to pick what we want to be called by, and there's a couple different titles. Ma'am, sir, citizen, my lord, my lady, and captain. Captain will do perfectly well ashore as well as at sea, so we're going to pick that one. Continue on. And now we're going to pick what our character looks like. Now, I am the dapper gamer, so of course I'm going to pick a wonderfully top-hatted gentleman. What is this guy? This guy's like a zombie with like full moon spectacles. I'm going to grab this guy because he's got a top hat and looks like either glasses or a monocle. So, Benjamin Oh, I don't know why. I always capitalize that A. Don't mean to. So, accept. So, we are in Fallen London. Now, when you're in a dock, this is the screen you're going to be presented with. It's got all these different tabs. Story tab, hold, journal, officers, shop, and shipyard. And I'll just go through them quickly. Story is where you're going to be doing all of your decision making. The hold is kind of what I was talking about when I said it's got some RPG light elements to it. These are the goods we're holding, our fuel and supplies, which are consumed as we go, our echo or currency, and this Invictus totem means that we are playing on hard mode, basically. There will be no save scrubbing. And this is our ship's, it's kind of like character slots. It's our ship slots. Now we have this is my standard, starter gun. The Leadbeater and Stain Rod Reconditioned Frigate Surplus Deck Gun Mark II, and the amount of sheer adjectives in there makes me think that this gun sucks. And then we have a basic engine, Elderly Steeple engine down here. That's our hold. We have a journal that just keeps track of everything we've done and everything we've, seen. A list of officers. We only have this guy, so no officers yet. Shops where we can sell and purchase different merchandise. If we find stuff out there, we can come back and sell it, and all these people will sell different things. Like this guy's got some engines, secure storage, some different guns, some different... apparently rats are like semi-sentient in this game, so you can buy some rats that'll work for you. Guns, lights, things like that. And we actually do have a comatose ferret as a mascot, who apparently gives us +1 to hearts. It's a mobile, occasionally it's feral. So I went through that real quickly. We saw the shops, and there is a shipyard. There is just a few different types of ships. I hope they add in a lot more. or that there are more I can find, because right now there's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different ships, each one with a different strength, basically. I kind of hope there's a lot more out there somewhere, so there's more customization for me to work with. And this is the game. This is the main screen right here. It is beautiful in its Lovecraftian, Victorian, Gothic splendor. I really, really like the way the game looks, even though it's all 2D. And I'll just go over the user interface right up here. This is basically our fuel. If I hit this button, it'll run the engines hot, but it risks blowing them up. This is our food, and this is the terror meter. If you run with the lights off, or something really scary is chasing you or something like that, your terror will go up, and your crew might go insane. And of course, this is just forward, flank speed, reverse, and reverse flank speed, and hull. Now we're going to launch, and I can turn the lights on and off. As you can see, I got the lights off, the terror meter starts to go up. I'll just let it go up 1, and bam, we went up to terror 1. So we're going to turn the lights back on. I'm going to keep it at speed 1 right now, and right off the bat, I'm going to send out my Z-Bats to do a little search. Now, your bats are kind of like scouts. They will go out and find interesting things for you to do. So they found the Hunter's Keep up to the northeast. They marked it on my chart, and I hit the wrong button. That's my chart right there. This is me, and that's what they marked right there. You can see the little bat icon. So we're going to head up that way and see what we can find. And I'm actually going to go flank speed because there's not really anything terribly interesting happening right now. I don't see any pirates. There's no sea monsters coming off of me, after me. There are like krakens and giant crabs and things of that nature, and pirates and swarms of bats and all sorts of bad things that'll find you and try to kill you. So as you can see, you do run through fuel relatively quickly. I'm already through almost 1 full barrel of fuel. And I'm going to go to Hunter's Keep and dock. And whenever you dock, you're going to go back to this screen right here, and we're going to go to the Hunter's Keep. Now, if you go to this help me all at sea thing, that's basically just like a written tutorial, which is actually pretty in-depth. It gives you a lot of good information. So if you don't know what you're doing, you can go there, read up a little bit, and find out whatever you need to find out. I'm glad they put that in there, because some games either have no tutorials or really shitty tutorials. And right now I'm thinking of, what's that game? Hearts of Iron 3, I think it was. And basically all the Paradox games. Super complicated, awful, like nonsensical tutorials. Alright, so we're going to go to Hunter's Keep. A hump of dark rock swathed in mist, like 100 other Untersee. In my head, I pronounce it like with a German accent for some reason. Untersee. I guess it could be Undersee Islands. But here's a grand house, windows aglow. Lawns and possibly green and lush in the false starlight, raked gravel pass. You stand on the dock as the sea nudges the ship's sides. An unexpectedly warm breeze carries the faintest trace of lavender. And what I've noticed off the bat, reading through these, I use that phrase a lot, I just realized off the bat. Anyways, if you have never read Lovecraft before, some of the way that the paragraphs are arranged, the sentences are concocted, is a little counterintuitive to the way we write today. Lovecraft wrote in the 20s, I believe. And sometimes I find myself stumbling over my words because it's just like raked gravel pass. That doesn't seem like a normal sentence that you would utter these days. Anyway, now we have options. We could present ourselves at the house, take a walk in the gardens, we can reconnoiter the island, or spy on the house. Now, this one, because of our veil quality, we have a 77% chance of success, so we're going to try this one right here. We're going to go do that. Alright, piano music drifts across the terrace. You peer through a half-open French window into a grand parlor, grand in size, if a little reduced in style by dust and neglect. A dark-haired, pale-skinned young woman bends earnestly over a piano keyboard. Another fair-haired, but unmistakably her sister, sprawls on the sofa with a book. A third sits by the fireplace, staring sorrowfully into the embers. Soon, she says, and the piano music falters and stops, we'll go hungry, and then the end will come. For me, but not you. Interesting. Are they going to cannibalize her? The pianist raises her eyes from the keyboards. Hush! If we don't speak of it, she frowns. She has seen you at the window, you withdraw. Or has she seen you at the window and you withdraw? You gained 40 knowledge fragments. You can basically combine those for benefits later. You know something of Hunter's Keep, and you succeeded in my challenge. Good. I succeeded. So I'm not going to reconnoiter the island or present myself at the house because I gained some knowledge and I gained some lore fragments. So we're gonna call this place explored. And the Admiralty's office, I realized in my first little 20-30 minutes of playing, will pay for information. So if I head back out, oh, launch, gotta hit launch first. So if we head back out, I will be able to sell off that information for a little bit of echo. And right here we have a pirate. I'm not going to bother trying to outrun him because I know he's weak, and I actually do want to show you the combat a little bit. A nimble savage little wolf of a vessel, pirate steam pinnacle. So we can fight or we can flee. Only have a 15% chance of fleeing because of our low veil skill, so we're going to fight. Their guns roar and the battle begins. Continue. Now, the combat mildly reminds me of Faster Than Light, if you've ever played that game. Excellent little roguelike game, in that you basically queue up events, and you can pause and unpause the combat. And the way this game works is that because it's so dark under here, there's no sunlight or anything, you need to be able to see the enemy before you can hit them. And you do that by the illumination property right here. Now, we're both illuminated at 0, so I'm going to start off by launching a flare. And then, let's see, there's a potent flare. Now, the flare will light up you a little and them a lot. The potent flare will basically is a bigger version of that. And maybe I'll go through these real quick. We have a devastating salvo, a regular salvo, flares, potent flares, which I just explained, seek, which reduces the distance and increases their illumination, so you can use that to close the distance if you want to. Evade reduces your illumination and increases distance. I believe it slightly increases distance. Flank speed, quicker than evade, but it uses fuel. This one uses fuel as well. You can burn your fuel to use these bigger ones right here. We can flee, we can do emergency repairs, or make some observations on the situation. And observations basically can get you more knowledge fragments. So I'm going to launch actually, I'm probably going to do, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do a flare, and then we're going to seek them. So we'll unpause it, and we're both going to do a flare, it looks like. See, now their illumination went up, mine went up, theirs went up higher. They're going to launch another flare while I try to seek them. And they're going to keep trying to illuminate me. Alright, now, their illumination is pretty high. So what I'm going to do real quick is take an observation, try to gain some knowledge on them. Alright, we gained some knowledge, and now I'm going to open fire. We're just going to queue up a bunch of attacks because I think I can take them out pretty easily. They're going to try to evade me. But I'm going to get a salvo off. But, ooh, big hit, 22 damage. They increase the damage. They fire on me. No, I got my attack off first, and I sunk them. Nice. No damage whatsoever. That went very smoothly. The first time I played this little encounter, just about an hour ago, I took like 35 damage. So I can loot and scuttle her. She's a vile old vessel, and these Z's aren't safe. Take what you can and move on. I can record my observations if I gathered any. I needed 10, I have 3, so I didn't take enough observations to write down information. Or I can send her home with a prize crew. I can send 2 sailors with will be enough to be a skeleton crew, send her back and try to, get some prize money. 80% chance, so I'm going to go with that. Close. Scattered observations. You learned something, but not enough. You didn't put it together in time. You jot down a few impressions. So I gained 1 knowledge fragment, only 1. Oh well. So that didn't give me much really, but it got me a little bit. So we'll crank it up to flank speed and head back to Fallen London to see if our prize crew made it. And I'm not going to be able to find out if they made it until I get back here. And you got a little logbook down here. Oh, getting chased by a Kraken. I can outrun him though. I didn't even come after me. Oh, maybe he is. I'm outrunning him though. No big deal. I don't want to get involved in another combat here. I want to get back to Wolfstack Docks. I like the names. I really enjoy them. Alright, we're going to take a dock. And, okay, let's see. We're going to go to London and visit the Admiralty's office. So, let's see. Well, you can be assured of your discretion. Let's do that. They want me to go to the Iron Misery Company funging station somewhere not far from home waters and take a report. Okay, so that's a little mission. I don't think I have anything else. I could carouse the Wolfstack Docks. that would reduce terror, but I think I only have a terror of 1, so I'm not going to bother. I can hire more crew. I can put my ship in the dry dock for repairs. I can offer passage to some tomb colonists, or I can see if there are any new recruits that await me. I don't think that's good. I thought there was more stuff to do with the Admiralty's office, but I guess not. We're going to leave. Now we have this guy down here. A fine evening to you, Captain. He approaches me. A very fine evening to you, Captain. My, what you might call, mentor is very fond of adventurous Z-captains and would like to offer you what you might call a dispensation on account he is so fond of Z-captains. Behind the Blind Bruiser, okay, I guess he's called the Blind Bruiser because of this eye right here, and the fact that he's constantly brandishing a knife, stands a dray piled high with fuel and supplies. So he's offering us fuel and supplies. Now, let's inquire further and see who this patron of his is. He runs a very fine and very liberal establishment just across the river, what is much patronized by sailors and by men of wit and vinegar. And I wonder if that's a typo, or if that's this guy talking in character. And public house, and there is no obligation to speak of. My patron would only hope that you might remember him kindly, and I suppose that if the opportunity should arise for you to return his kindness, then I do not imagine he would refuse your offer. So he's basically offering me a bunch of supplies if in the future I remember his kindness. So what I think I'm going to do, that sounds interesting. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to accept the dispensation. Alright, make sure you have 15 points of space in the hold. I think that's perfectly fine. A courteous nod. Well, my patron hopes that you find these little gifts to your liking, and he expects that perhaps someday you might choose to call on him at the Medusa's Head. So we can go to the Medusa's Head and visit this guy at some point if we want to. Now, we gain 5 supplies and 10 fuel, so we have plenty now. Let's take a trip to our lodging. Let's try to read the morning paper again. The Khanate, which is, I believe, like an enemy down here, is threatening war. They always do. London's colonists on the Karelian coast want independence. They always do. The Undersea, the paper report, has undergone another alteration. Not yet it hasn't. You'd know. Oh ho! A promotional coupon for Mrs. Plenty's provisions for a half cask of salt herring. You could use that. So I gained a coupon. I think I gained a coupon. And some recent news. Oh, long-awaited prize money. A letter, Captain, we have assessed the da-da-da in accordance with the laws of the Z, da-da-da. Please do enclose a money order of blah-blah-blah. So our prize crew did make it back. Let's see. Spend it on something nice. For the total value of the prizes you've sent home, the Crown and the Bazaar have deducted prize tax, prize tariffs, running costs, repairs, and a misery surcharge. Nevertheless, a good sum remains. Spend it in good health. I got to the victor, go to the spoils is gone. Oh, that was the little event I got for capturing his boat. I gained my crew back, and I gained 50 echoes or currency. Nice. Now, I'll go over all this later because there's a lot of information here, but I'm running just about as long as I'd like this episode to go, so I'm going to call it here. If you've enjoyed this episode, drop me a like, leave me a comment, and if you're interested in more daily Benjamin Magnus plays Sunless Sea, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time.